Welcome, guys. I just want to announce that we're gonna have another prediction, and maybe today I will try to work on another one, which is believe BKFC event. I believe we do have it this weekend. And tonight I'm gonna break down KSW. So KSW will be a public discussion, just to know. Xmma, we got so many great fighters, and the first fighter is Westin Wilson, who's gonna square off against Teruto Ishihara. Westin Wilson, 13-6-0, 6 foot 173 inches of reach, upstate karate fighter, trained by Wonderboy Thompson, riding on 3-fight win streak. He's got a great BJJ skills along the way, and Teruto Yoshaba Ishihara 11-9-3, 5 foot 7, 69 inches of reach. Wilson is a taller guy. Out of Team Alpha Male Japan, this guy defeated Jose Hernandez, but he was on a super cold streak with back-to-back losses to Alberto Quinones, Kyung Ho Kang, Petr Yan, Kazuma Sone, also Levi Moles. I think he was fighting high-level opponents, and he used to be a former UFC name, but he's past his prime. Teruto Ishihara, he's not in his prime anymore, and he's not that good type of a guy. I'm gonna go with Westin Wilson to win. Okay, Westin Wilson to win. This is my first pick. And the next fight is the battle between Carl Williams and Simon Marini. Carl Williams 5-1-0, 6'3", out of American top team Atlanta. Back-to-back wins over Miles Samos and Kyle Wright. He used to be a former PFL boy. And then Simon Marini, the mutant, 9-8-0, 5'10", out of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. On a 5-fight losing streak to Tim Kemeli, Elias Teodoro, Ali Mogdad, Gabriel Chaco, Chris Lee Byrne. Not in his prime anymore. 36 years of age. I think I'm gonna go with Carl Williams because of a losing streak. Going with Carl Williams. 1 second. I'm going with Carl Williams for the victory, and this is going to be a losing streak. Then the next one is going to be the fight between Taner Saraceno and Sasha Palatnikov. Taner the Hammer Saraceno. This guy is building his career slowly. Revolution mixed martial artist, 6'1", 31 years of age. Lost to Austin Jones, priorly defeated Zach Kelly, lost to Gregory Rodriguez, Jonavin Webb. Now gonna meet Sasha Palatnikov, 8-4-0. You know the Hong Kong fighter who used to compete at welterweight division, 6'1", 72.5 inches of reach, out of Syndicate MMA. Bounced back with back-to-back wins over Kyron Bowen and Joshua Jones, lost to Impa Kasangana, lost to Ramiz Brahima via choke. Taner Saraceno is not a choke specialist, which you can see by his results. I mean, he has some chokes, but he is not like a specialist, like, for example, Brahimaj or Kasanganaj. He has one heel hook, one guillotine choke, but Palatnikov is a better striker, so I do have a feeling this is a 50-50 fight, really a 50-50 fight to me, but I'm gonna say Sasha Palatnikov to win. That's number one, or Saraceno KO TKO. We do have whatever works for you, but either Palatnikov gonna win in a long fight, either it's going to be KO TKO for Saraceno, according to my mind. But again, I can't say 100% that it's gonna come to fruition, as this for me really is a 50-50 fight. If Palatnikov keeps it standing, I have no dilemma on who's going to win. And the problem is the fact that Sasha Palatnikov is extremely unpredictable. So if you say to me like pick Palatnikov, very risky to pick Palatnikov. But anyway, I'm going to continue now. Julian Lane is going to fight Austin Hubbard. Austin Hubbard, 13-6, so you know that this guy competed at UFC, 5'10", 71 inches of reach, and Austin Hubbard lost to Vince Pichel, defeated Dakota Bush, lost to Joe Solecki, defeated Max Roscoff, lost to Mark Madsen, defeated Kyle Prepolitz, and one time he loses, one time he wins. Now gonna meet Julian Night Train Lane. You know the Julian Lane, 5'10", 70.5 inches of reach, is a bare knuckle fighter. lost to David Rickles, Mike Perry, David Mundell, defeated Jake Bostwick. He hasn't competed in an MMA show for a very, very long period of time. I'm kind of unsure why he accepted that, but I think Austin Hubbard is more well-rounded. I'm gonna go with Austin Hubbard for the victory. Austin Hubbard to win. We are gonna go with Austin Hubbard for the win. I don't know why Lane accepted this. Tyler Wilson gonna fight Jason Fallier Jr. Tyler Wilson 6'5", 5'10", 29 years of age, Hayabusa Academy fighter. Lost to Dir Terry, lost to Kyle Estrada, lost to Matthew DiMarcantonio, defeated Morgan Ryans. Jason Fallier Jr., 6'3", 29 years of age, 5'6", out of Augusta, Georgia. Wagler's Cam Fallier, Campo Karate. Lost to CJ Hamilton, but priorly defeated Matt Murphy, Jamestown. The guy doesn't have the greatest knockout power in the world, but man, he's a heck of a striker, and he improved his takedown defense significantly. I believe Fallier could keep this fight standing and win the fight. I believe he's going to keep it standing and his route to a decision or a late stoppage win. So I'm going with Jason Fallier to win. Jason Fallier Jr. to win. That is going to be my prediction for this fight. And sorry, because I put only members mode. I'm sick of trolls. They know everything. They understand everything. And I don't need those people in my life because they are toxic and they are fucking annoying. So the next fight I'm picking is Josh Rettinghouse versus Chris Beal. Josh Rettinghouse, 16'5", very experienced fighter, 5'6", 65 inches of reach, out of Spokane, Washington. He defeated Sergey Morozov. Sorry, he lost to Sergey Morozov at 10-1 challenge, but was better than many great fighters. Vadim Zlobich, Bakhtiar Tushibayev, Alexander Lunga also defeated Sergey Morozov once, which just speaks about how dangerous he is. He was better than Rick James. Fought to decision against Marlon Moraes, very experienced fighter. Chris Beal, 11'6", 5'10", 69 inches of reach, knuckleheads, boxing fighter, top-notch striker. But unfortunately for him, he was mostly losing the fights that were dragged to the ground. And Josh Rettinghouse, he has a fight IQ, very high fight IQ, and he'll probably try to drag this fight to the ground. So I'm gonna say Rettinghouse to win. Yes, I'm saying Josh Rettinghouse to win the fight. I do have a feeling he's gonna win this one. I really, really do have a feeling he's gonna win this one. Zach Dillon is going to fight the Nigerian prospect Montedeon Ogbonna Morrison. Ogbonna Morrison, 200, 6'3". He is fighting out of Bradenton, Florida, champions, 9-4-1 fighter. Defeated Brinson Eilary, was better than Teus Thomas. And at amateur circuit, he was pretty much okay. He had ups and downs, but that's all behind him. Zach Dillon, 210, 5'11", North Carolina, United States fighter. Lost to Brian Battle, defeated Brandon Tupa, and defeated RJ Summerlin. Not ashamed to lose to Brian Battle via anonymous decision. Brian Battle is a UFC fighter now. I'm kind of worried about him because he was having a break. So when a fighter has a break, it kind of worries me. It kind of really, really worries me when a fighter makes the break, and that really worries me, man. So I'm gonna go with Ogbonna Morrison to win. Ogbonna Morrison to win. That's what I'm gonna go right now. The next fight I'm gonna analyze is DeMarquise Jackson versus sorry, I'm allergic to something. DeMarquise Jackson versus Joe Gigliotti. Joe Capo Gigliotti, 5'11", 69 inches of reach, fighting out of Gilbert, Arizona. Lost to Gerald Mershard. Lost to Trevor Smith at RFA. He used to be very much successful. He came undefeated, but when you come to the UFC, you see what kind of animals are you dealing with. And DeMarquise Jackson, scrap iron, 12'6", former Bellator name, 5'9", 72.5 inches of reach, hard knocks fighter. He lost to Mark Lemminger, Gracek Bozhinian, and at LFA he was also losing only one victory over Adrian Hadribeai and victory over Bobby Lee. So he was having a hard time, he was fighting real beasts, difficult opponents, and Joe Gigliotti came as an undefeated fighter, but I do believe DeMarquise Jackson has more experience than Joe Gigliotti, so shape is so, but he's bounced back with a win over Miles Hansinger at Eagles FC 44. Prior to that, Joe Gigliotti. Joe Gigliotti hasn't bounced back with a win and he hasn't fought for 6 years, man. No, 6 years he hasn't fought, so I'm gonna go with the Marquise Jackson. No, he hasn't fought for a very long period of time. The Marquise Jackson to win is going to be my next pick. Now we're gonna go with the next pick. I just need to check something. Jackson Farias versus Cody Jones. Just to check something on my cell phone. Give me 1 second, please. There is something I need to check. Just 1 second, okay? I'm checking something about these two guys, whether the odds appeared at some of the bookies. Unfortunately, no. Odds haven't appeared yet. No problem. I don't give a fuck about the odds. I'm gonna continue my battle alone. Okay. Jackson Farias versus Cody Jones. Jackson Farias 8-5-0, Cody Jones 8-3-0. Cody Jones is pretty much having a hard time at the moment. 6'2", 74 inches of reach for this middleweight fitness edge fighter. He lost to Austin Vanderford in Bellator, and after that loss, he looked very, he looked very much shaken. He didn't look good, but then he bounced back with victories over James Conway and Christopher Lavant. He's very good on the ground, great BJJ fighter with great punches. His striking game is so. Jackson Farias, 8'5", 5'8", Shota boxing fighter out of Maringa, Sao Paulo. Luis Dominguez, Matheus Escon. He won all the fights, but he was losing to Carlos Alberto Jr., Aldecir Cardozo, Edvaldo Santos, which kind of worries me, at those local circuits. He lost too many fights, and fighting against Cody Jones, this might be pretty much tricky, especially considering the fact that Cody Jones is very good on the ground. So, Cody Jones versus Jackson Farias, no distance. Side pick, Cody Jones. Now the next one I'm going to visit is Josh Baker versus Quintus Sepp. Josh Baker, the gingerbread man, 200, 6'3", fighting out of Conway, South Carolina. This guy defeated Jay Ellis. This guy defeated Patrick Davis via magical toe hold, submission specialist, but he also knows to boxer and the BJJ fighter. Quintus Sepp, 100, 5'8", out of Charleston, South Carolina, United States. He defeated Bubba Cruz at VFC 73 Valor Fighting Championship at amateur circuit. He only had 3 losses, but in his professional waters, I think he is pretty much talented. So I'm gonna fish for the upset here, and I'm going to say that Baker versus Sepp. No distance. Side pick Sepp. I'm gonna go with the underdog for this one. Now the next one that I'm gonna pick is Colin Anglin versus James Brown. Colin Anglin 8'4", 5'9", 71 inches of reach, out of Scorpion Fighting System. This guy lost to Melsik Bagdasaryan, Sean Woodson, and Edwin Chavez, and now he'll try to bounce back against James Brown. He defeated Muhammadian Naimo, but unfortunately in UFC he didn't go well. And James get down Brown 9-5-0, 6'2". He is a featherweight fighter, and he is on a great streak with back-to-back victories over Luke Staley, Kevin Schroeder, Rob Fuller, Keon Wilkins, Jordan Hernandez, and Delan Lemaire. But he is winning via early stoppages, via early strikes. He is extremely dangerous in round 1, a knockout artist, but he lost to Damon Blackshear, for example. You can do this in minor promotions, but against Colin Anglin, the guy who has only been finished twice in the UFC, and in minor promotions, he used to be the finisher. He is going to meet another brawler, but I think Anglin is actually not having a hard time with brawlers. So I'm going to give edge to Anglin to win. He is a former UFC name, so that should be enough for me. And his route to victory, that should be enough for me. But again, you must be aware that some things might never change. So, especially especially in those areas of fighting. If you're a brawler once, you will always be a brawler. It's hard to change your fighting style unless you work with a coach, like for example Francis Ngannou worked. Then we're gonna go with Andre Harrison versus Maíque Linhares. Maíque Linhares is 16-3-0, excellent Brazilian prospect out of Brasília Federal District, Brazil, 5'8". This guy lost to Adlan Bataev at ACB, but then bounced back with victories over Everton Monteiro, Fabrício Oliveira, Michel Lima, and many other high-level opponents. Andre Harrison, the Bull, 22-1. 5'8", 69 inches of reach. This guy defeated Belmore. He is out of Belmore Kickboxing Academy, and he defeated Mauro Chalet at CS. Used to be a former PFL name. Lost to Alex Gilpin, fought to draw against Mavlit Kaibulaev, defeated Peter Pettis, lost to Lance Palmer, defeated Alexander Bezera, Nazareno Maligari, Tursun Jumabiki, Steven Rodriguez, and also the former WSOF fighter, the former Titan FC fighter, Andre Harrison has the experience under his belt. He was defeating many high-level opponents. I don't know why this guy hasn't got a UFC shot. It's sad. He is 34 years old, and it's pretty much sad. I think this victory could give him a UFC shot. So Harrison to win is going to be my prediction. Now we're heading into the co-main event of the evening. Jared Gooden is going to fight Impa Kasangane. Impa Kasangane used to be one of the toughest guys, 5'11", 75 inches of reach, until he was stopped by Joaquin Buckley with that fabulous spinning back kick. Then he choked out Sasha Palatnikov and lost, and suffered back-to-back losses to Carlston Harris and Raymond Magomedaliev at Eagle FC. Jared Gooden, Night Train, also the former UFC fighter, 6 foot tall, 77 inches of reach. He is a bit longer than his opponent, X3 Sports fighter. Lost to Randy Brown, lost to Abubakar Nurmagomedov and Alan Jouban, defeated Niklas Stolze via dangerous right cross. Now he is on a winning streak to Aaron Haibo, to Curtis Millender, and I think he's gonna extend his win streak. So I'm gonna say Gooden to win. That is my next pick. And my final pick, Luis Pena versus Will Brooks. Will Brooks offers a lot of experience. 23-5-1, 5'10", 72 inches of reach, American top team fighter. This guy defeated Steven Seiler, he defeated Jose Filho, Rafael Bastos, also lost to Gleison Tibur, but at PFL, Luis Firmino, Robert Watley, Rashid Magomedov draw fight, lost to Nick Lance, lost to Charles Oliveira, lost to Alex Oliveira. At TUF, he was better than Ross Pearson, also former Bellator name, a lot of experience under his belt. And Luis Pena, the violent Bob Ross, 11-3-0, 6'3", 75 inches of reach, not much of a reach difference. Wrestler and BJJ fighter. This guy defeated Gustavo Wurlitzer at Titan FC, defeated Zach Zane, also was better than Alex Munoz, Steve Garcia, lost to Camaverti, lost to Matt Steamroller Frevola, was better than Matt Wyman, Steven Peterson, lost to Mike Trizano at TUF. He defeated Richie Smullen. He is a TUF 27 winner. Also was better than Damir Ferhatbegovic. If Luis Pena drags the fight to the ground, he's going to keep his opponent down. He's going to hold him. But if Will Brooks is able to keep the fight standing, he's going to knock out violent Bob Ross. But I'm going to win Luis Pena here. I think Pena will be able to drag the fight to the ground. So Luis Pena to win. Luis Pena to win is going to be my pick. So this is the whole breakdown, my lovely lads. Thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you so much for being with me. And that's all I've got to say. Later in the evening, I'm going to break down KSW, which is going to be more of a public event. Everybody will be able to take part, to participate. And catch you later. Thank you so much.